So I'm getting asked about this system as of late, and I thought I will do a little tour of this system and just show you what this really is and how what. So here we have a project RPM 3 with a Duke Audio phono preamp. I gotta say, this preamp is amazing for the price. The table, I'm not the biggest fan of this table, which is pretty known on my channel by now, I guess. Had a little bit of flack from some people that love these. It's not bad, but it's not the best table I have by any stretch of the imagination. But it looks really cool and whatever. So here we have the Sony XA20ES, which is a fixed pickup um, um, CD player. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Um, this is a pretty old one, but if you can score these guys, if you're into CDs, of course, it's completely over-engineered with their own tech, but you can easily get to the laser. That was a thing that always appealed to me in with these particular models. And I mean, they're really built really well. They have gone up in price. There's various models, as you guys know. I have a 777ES, which is my parade thingy. But this here, very solid CD player, which also does servers in this system for my digital needs. Now this is actually really cheap. It's an LDEC streamer that I bought on Amazon, very cheap, doesn't cost much, and streams LDEC from my phone. I know some people will not like that. That's okay. Bluetooth has caught up tremendously. This is, for me, more than enough to work with. Then we have the LS3. This is a audio research preamp. It was my first audio research product that I've ever used, and I fell in love immediately. This is such a phenomenal preamplifier. This is a line stage amplifier. It's basically keeping the signal as direct as you possibly can. There's an LS3 Plus as well that has a phono preamp built in, which I didn't care much for because the price went up tremendously on that one. But I got this one for such a good deal. I couldn't leave it alone. And this was kind of the Hail Mary in regards with these speakers. It changed everything for me in terms of audio. Then we have three amplifiers that we're using here. We have on each side a dual mono Yoshin MC100B with KT88 tubes. It's driving the mid-range driver and a tweeter. As you can see, this is a dual mono. It's really a incredible amplifier. In the beginning, I had a little bit issues with this amplifier as far as sonically goes. I still prefer my MC13S, but then I started to understand a little bit more that one of these cannot drive a speaker like this. It's just not possible to get the proper sound out of it due to the fact that this speaker is a 5 ohm speaker at 83 dB. It's a very inefficient speaker, and tube amplifiers, they're not the best at the damping factor end of things. Now, some find a little bit myth. It got sloppy with just one amplifier. But as you can tell, this amplifier can be used as an integrated amplifier as well. If you switch it, you have a power amplifier, a dual mono power amplifier. So that's a cool little trick. Then, of course, I got on this side, I got another one for the other speaker. This is overkill. So this speaker is triamped. It's completely overkill, a little bit unnecessary, to be honest with you. But, hey, it's there. Might as well use it. Then we get to a big guy over here. This is the Audio Research D300. It's a solid-state amplifier. It also can be used as a monoblock. This is not a switched monoblock, meaning that there's no switch for it. You have to actually wire it that way. Up to 900 watts in monoblock version of it. But this amplifier is 160 watts times 2 and 8 ohms. And I think it just about close to doubles in 4 ohm. Great amplifier. Again, typical Audio Research build. This is driving the low cabs of this speaker. So that's kind of the setup gist here. Now this rack, actually I got this for free from one of my renters here. Used to work at the pet store. So this is a pet dog food rack that we just basically upcycled to make it an audio rack. You can adjust this, completely steel, very stout, is on casters. You can really, and as you can tell, I have set space really high for heat dissipation. By the way, these are not cold on the floor. There are big pucks underneath it, so not that people go like, you put it on the floor, how dare you? Yeah, they're off the floor. They have enough, they have enough airflow going on regarding cooling. It's a tube. It will get hot. That one gets pretty hot too, though. So let me take this off. Now, this here is kind of a unique thing to see. This is the Boston Acoustics 500 Linfield. This was the most expensive model speaker they've ever built under Andy and Frank Reed's ownership. So they hired in Phil Jones, not to be confused with Andrew Jones. Phil Jones was from Acoustic Energy, and at the time he was hired in for, I believe, about 2 years to come up with a series of speakers that really was not budget constricted at the time. Stereophile got their hands on them. They did not get a favorable review, and that basically killed it off. It makes them very rare, and also it's a speaker I had a lot of issues with getting just right. This tweeter was so hot, and I have to agree with Stereophile. They did some really crazy stuff here. So this is a 5¼ inch aluminum dome. It's an anodized aluminum dome. And this is what they call an AMD device. This is a amplitude modulation device. It's basically a diffuser to deal with peak resonances that metal drivers have. They did the same thing here with this tweeter, and it was proven it wasn't that crazy effective, ironically. Then we have 2 downfiring woofers in here that have a dual spider. Think of a Cerwin-Vega stroker woofer. It's basically has a spider over the top, a very unique proprietary design. It's not a stroker woofer, but it's a very close to similar design to 6.5 inch that fires into a chamber. So this speaker is sealed for about 85, or I would say, let's say 75% up. It's sealed and it fires into a vented chamber. Let's go to the back because there's plenty of space here for me to stand. These are a good bit away from. There are not many of these in existence anymore. There were not many built. This is number 157, as you can see, A and B. I replaced the cable bridges here for better bridges. Let's go down here where you can see where the speaker is completely triamped. This is a passive triamp, by the way. There's no active crossovers involved. Now, people will say, well, what's the benefit? There are benefits with this speaker, believe it or not. We also installed riggers because this speaker is quite narrow and tends to be top heavy. This is a 100-pound speaker, guys, on Boston Acoustics that has that type of weight. You don't see that often. They're extremely stout. I'm going to put my mic a little bit closer here for you guys. That is very inert. I've worked on these speakers a good bit. I've redone the internal woofers. They're now butylene surrounds, no longer foam. And it's just really, really an amazing system. This is one of my favorite systems. It's also the most dedicated system. Don't mind the mess here, guys. Still figuring this out, as you can tell. But it does need, the first reflections. I put panels up. There's panels around this room as well. As you can hear, there's really not, if not almost no reflection in this room. There's a panel behind that as well. There's a panel on the side as well. It's my little listening seat here. So we're sitting relatively near field. But this here is my pride and joy. This is really something that took me a long time to get right. And this is definitely, I would argue, one of my best systems that I've ever built so far. It's very, very articulate, very high defined. The low end is beautiful out of these speakers. But as I said, this is a speaker that takes a lot of attention, and you really need to play with acoustics here to get that right with that tweeter, because the tweeter can be hot. What also helps, of course, with these amplifiers, I can adjust the volume of this driver arrangement, and that helped a lot to just temper it down a little bit more. They're basically the black sheep of the Boston Acoustics family, but it's also, once you get it right, I've not heard a Boston that will outperform this speaker, not even by the further stretch of the imagination. This is where you really get a high-end sound out of these things, but it takes a lot of time. And also coupling of equipment was a very critical thing. I had an Emotiva on here, I had a Bellis Audio Class A on here, and it did not sound good on this speaker at all. I almost sold them because of that. And then a good friend of mine advised me, hey, try this out, because he has the exact same speaker. And he said, try out audio research. And I walked into that. I was a little bit skeptical. I was like, I don't know. It cost me more money, and I don't know if I really gonna. Because now I'm starting to doubt if this speaker really has what it takes. And that there transformed everything. Also, I got another amplifier here that still needs revision. That is the Audio Research D90 tube. So that one is going to a repair shop soon, whenever I have the money again to do stuff like that. So there you go, guys. This is my dedicated system, separate room, and I'm in love with this. This is my zen place. If my wife is asleep, I can sit here, listen to music. I bother nobody in the house with it. It's isolated from the rest of the house, and this is mine. And there you go. Now you know what my A grade system is, or my reference system. This is it.